What's up, guys? This is Nick G with MuscleAndLife.com, and today we're going to be cooking a steak. Alright, so for our cut of meat, I like to go with New York strip. I don't like a lot of fat. I don't really like ribeyes and all that because whenever I buy them, they end up being like half grizzle, and that's just a waste to me. I don't like to eat a bunch of grizzle. So I go with a little bit of a leaner cut New York strip. You can still use whatever cut you want. My cooking instructions will apply to anything. And I'm going to put more details if you're using different cuts in the actual article on the website. So if you want more in-depth information, check out the blog article at muscleandlife.com. I'm going to link that down in the description. For right now, I'm just going to show you guys how I prep the steak before we cook it. So I take them here, just basically cut it open. And I already have ready here just like a glass dish. You can use a plate, whatever you have. I like to put my steaks in here. And what I like to do is marinate them. Just the marinade. So I marinate my steaks. Not everybody does. Some people think that it takes away from the meat. I don't know. I like marinade. I'm a marinade kind of guy, so that's what I do. We have herb and garlic marinade, just a simple marinade I bought at the store. Makes everything, my steak, my chicken, everything tastes really good. So if you have, just a local store you can get it at, or you can even make your own if you want. I recommend it. So what I do to marinate the steaks is I put a little bit on the bottom of the plate without the steaks in there so that I can get both sides evenly. And just kind of swish it around so it covers the whole, or most of the bottom of the plate. And if you're watching your calories in your diet, like this marinade, most marinades shouldn't be like super high in calories. This is like 10 calories per tablespoon, so it really shouldn't make or break your diet or anything like that if you're going to be counting your calories. Alright. And then what I also have here is, just because I haven't, I'm starting to count my calories again, just because I think I'm going to lose a little bit of weight, a little bit of body fat. I'm actually going to weigh these steaks in grams. I'm going to have a whole other article and video on how to use the food scale if you've never had one before, so don't worry. Stay tuned for that. So I just want to see how many grams. I'm measuring in grams right now, so that's 313. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put my steaks in my marinade thing. So I got them in there, so since we already put the marinade in the bottom's covered, and I'm just going to pour some on top. You don't need to like drench it. You need to put a decent amount. You shouldn't be like, your steaks don't need to be swimming in marinade. It's just a waste of marinade because you're going to get the flavor no matter what, as long as you put it on there. And I just kind of turn the marinade around, make sure it gets on pretty much all of the steak. And then what I also do is I put salt on top of my steak, iodized salt to be exact. If you're going to use table salt, make sure it's iodized. It has a lot of more benefits other than just using non-iodized regular table salt. If you want to know why, check out the blog article. I'll detail why iodized salt is much better for you. And we have some pour now. Where'd you put the salt, dude? Did you move it over here? The salt?
Yeah, that salt's right there.
So obviously I'm not going to use it in the big thing. I already have it in here. And I just put a decent amount of salt on top of the steak, give it a little bit more flavor. And then I cover it up. I just put some foil over the top. And if you're gonna marinate your steak, I recommend just do it for at least a couple hours so it gets the flavor in there. That's what I'm gonna do. Just go ahead and stick it in the fridge. And then when those are done after a couple hours, we're gonna come back and we'll cook them. Thanks. Hey guys, we're back here with our steak tutorial, how to make a delicious steak with no grill. So it's been like right on the dot 2 hours, so I took my beautiful steaks out of the refrigerator, so they're nice and marinated and flavorful. Off camera, what I did is I went ahead and I got my cast iron skillet and I put some, probably like a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more of olive oil in there, kind of squished it around to coat my pan. It's a non-stick pan, but I always like to cook with olive oil. You can also use butter if you like that. I don't use butter because I don't like buttery meat. Like, it just doesn't taste good to me. I don't like it. I love olive oil. But also, I mean, whatever, butter, olive oil, whatever you want to use, adds more flavor to the meat. Cast iron skillet that I have, it's got grill marks built into it. Since I don't have a grill, like, I'd like to have the grill marks on my meat still, and I found that at a store and I thought it was pretty cool. But you can use a regular cast iron skillet pan. The whole key is you pretty much have to have a cast iron skillet pan if you want to make an awesome steak. Well, maybe you don't have to, but I highly recommend it. You can buy one for like 40 or 50 bucks, and it'll last you your whole entire life. Alright, anyway, so enough about talking about that. We're going to go ahead and get our steaks. Now, I didn't mention this in the first part of the video. The steaks I have, they're New York strip, sirloin top, so they're pretty lean. They got some fat in them, but these are thin cut. My local grocery store sells them in thin cut, and for some reason I like to have 2 thin cut steaks because I don't know if it makes it look like I'm eating more. Like, I don't know why, but it makes them easier to cook too, because like literally like 2 minutes on each side, these are going to be done and like perfect. So the thicker your steak, the longer you have to cook it, and the more chances you can have. If you like a medium steak or medium rare, the more chances you have of fucking it up and like overcooking it. With these little thin cut sirloins and the marinade and everything, even if I overcook these steaks a little bit, like they taste so good. If you do get thicker steaks, what I actually do, like for these ones in this video, I'm just going to be doing them on the pan. But for my thicker cuts, what I do is I do everything the same. I'll write this down in the article too. I just sear my thicker cuts. If I get like a thick ribeye for whatever reason, I sear them for like a minute on each side. I preheat my oven to 350, and then after I sear them for a minute on each side and I sear the sides, I throw it in the oven for like 5 or 6 minutes. That's basically, if you've ever been to like a fancy steakhouse, that's how they actually cook your steaks. They pretty much just sear it and then bake it in the oven. But since these are just thin, you know, my new favorite way of eating them, I just 2 minutes on each side, they're done. If they're overcooked a little bit, it doesn't really matter. And it just tastes so good. Like, I really hope you follow this recipe and you get like thin cut steaks if you have them, because it's so good. Like, I know how to cook. I don't want to do a lot of shit in life. I can teach you how to squat, I can teach you how to bench press, overhead press, I can teach you how to lift weights, and I can teach you how to cook. Everything else, I'm not that good at. But I know how to fucking cook, so trust me. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and throw these on. Hopefully it doesn't make too much noise. And then, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get my timer ready. Use your smartphone, just time it for 2 minutes. And then we'll go ahead and step in here so you can hear me talk a little bit better. Yeah, so we'll just chat for a couple minutes and then I'll flip them. So yeah, we're cooking a steak. I'm probably not gonna do too many YouTube videos on the channel. I kind of do this just to connect with you guys a little bit better. I much prefer to just write blogs and take pictures. I like writing. Shooting YouTube videos is kind of a pain in the ass. And if you've read my past articles on success and strength, you know how I feel about YouTube. Most of the people on the YouTube platform are just full of shit, and it's not a very good place to be anymore nowadays. But yeah, I'm just filming these. I'm gonna film these videos, maybe a few other cooking videos and some more exercise tutorials like I used to have on the old website, just better updated, me actually talking to you, just so I can connect with you guys a little bit better. And then it also, YouTube it kind of helps drive traffic to your website as well. I noticed for even my older videos that were terrible, I did get some traffic and actual readers from that, so that was cool. But, I mean, if you guys really like the YouTube thing as well, you can let me know in the comments, either on the blog or on the video itself. I don't really know how to check YouTube stuff that well, so you're better off just going to the website in the description and talking to me there. I don't know shit about YouTube. I don't even know if I can connect the video from the first part to this part. I don't even know if this video is going to get published. I don't even know if I can figure that out, so hopefully I can. But we got about 20 seconds to go. We're going to flip our steaks. Yeah, anyway, so I mean, if you really like me incorporating YouTube more and talking to you guys, you can let me know, and then I'll make an effort to actually make more videos. Otherwise, the YouTube videos are going to be kind of rare, unless I feel that they're going to enhance the content, like how-to stuff. I think videos go well with that, but just filming these videos tonight, time to flip our steaks, just filming these videos is taking like 3 hours, and it's a pain in my ass, so yeah, sorry. So, spend 2 minutes, I'm just going to flip the steaks. So when you flip them to the other side and then rotate them. Why? Because I saw that on the cooking channel and I trust them. I don't know why. But. And then what I do is I just kind of get the olive oil. I just kind of switch it around a little bit. Bam. Now we'll go back for a thaw. 2 more minutes, and then these things will be done. So when the steaks are done and we take them off the pan, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them on a plate and I'm gonna just let them rest. That's just a fancy way of saying I'm just gonna not touch them for like 5 minutes. That way they cook a little bit more. You know, even though they're not on the pan anymore, they still cook on the inside a little bit more. Yeah, it's just like a little cooking tip. If you have any kind of meat or like chicken breast or anything, you don't have to like cook them until they're like well done. You can take them off, let them rest, or just sit on the plate. They'll keep cooking for a couple more minutes by themselves. It's not that big of a deal with steak, but you want to do that as well because the juices with your steak, you want to let them kind of like come out of the steak a little bit. And I guess just like, how can I put this? If you don't let it rest, your steak is gonna get super juicy, and then like when you go to cut it, eat it like right away, so you're gonna have like a big like sloppy pile of juice on your plate. It's gonna like splash all over you, and it's fucking annoying. So let them rest for like 5 minutes. Pick them up, each one by the fork. Let the juices drip down. You can even then go to another plate if you want to, like I do sometimes, just because like I don't like a bunch of juice all over my steak. I don't like it; it just makes a mess. Oh, another thing, if you're not used to cooking inside on a cast iron skillet, when you cook, depending on the cut of meat, if it's like really fatty, you're gonna get like a ton of smoke come up. So if you live in like an apartment or something, it's probably gonna set off the smoke alarm if it's like right near the stove. That's why again I kind of like leaner cuts of meat because there's like hardly any smoke right now. There's a little bit of steam coming off of it, but just be careful of that. In my old apartment, I actually like unhooked the smoke detector for that reason because that shit used to go off all the time. Also, another thing you can do is you can just cook, like if you have like your front door, just leave a door or a window open, that way it'll get out. But right now, there's like no smoke. I don't have to worry about that anymore because I know what kind of meats to get, what kind of cuts to get, and how to cook them properly. But just keep in mind that can happen as well. Yeah, timer's going off, so our steaks are ready. So go ahead. Another thing you can do, you can kind of sear the edges if you want. This is more of a trick that I do for the thicker cuts of steak, not these like thin ones, but this kind of just cooks the edges and caramelizes the fat a little bit more. Kind of press it to the sides just for a couple seconds. Yeah, the fat just gets kind of like more caramelized. We'll go ahead and pull these off, plate them. And then there you go, guys. These are gonna be fucking great. I'm just gonna go ahead and let them sit here for like 5 minutes by themselves. I'm not gonna touch them. And yeah, that's how you make really awesome, delicious steaks without a grill. Thanks. Well, guys, I didn't plan on doing this, but do you see how perfect this steak is? Okay, I'm a man of my word. I ain't bullshitting you. It's so fun, baby. Is it good?
Yeah, it's tasty.
Fucking it is. Anyway, guys, I got my sweet baked potato here. Gonna be an article on that. I'll link it in the article. I'll link everything together. Sweet potato. I'll try to make a great sweet potato. I love sweet potatoes. This is they're so good. I always think about that scene in The Matrix. If you guys have seen The Matrix, when the bad guy's eating the steak with Agent Smith, and it's like perfect like this, and he's just fucking the blue pill, the red pill, like he wishes he was back in the fucking Matrix so he could eat steak and shit. I don't know. Anyway, just wanted to show you the aftermath here. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you back at Muscle and Life. Comment, subscribe, leave a comment, email me, whatever. I'm here. Have a good night.